I'm going to start. So today we are going to discuss some of the elements of neural networks. Basically, what is neural network and why we need to prefer the neural network? What are the basic essential things that we come across in the neural network that we are going to discuss in today's session. So mainly before we go ahead regarding the neural network, we need to discuss regarding the cognitive machine. What is cognitive machine? What is cognition that is present in human beings and why we need to give the cognition to the neuron, biological neuron. So this is the major element that plays an important role as far as the technologies of AI is concerned. So most of the things in the AI, they are going to work based on the cognition process called as cognition and based on the neural network that empowers it towards the other notations. So mainly human beings, we all have some sort of cognitions. That means we have some sort of emotional process and information process that depends on the decision making. Suppose we are going on a road, suddenly we have seen three signals. One is red, another one is green, another one is blue. So suppose let us just imagine. So if we see the signal red, we immediately stop over there. So this is the major cognition that we have as far as human beings are concerned. So now what we are trying to do is that we are trying to make this cognition to a machine level mechanism, so that machine is going to act on its own. So the major thing over AI is that machine should work on its own and it is going to take the decision on its own. So this is the major element that lies in the machine learning aspects majorly. So as far as the cognitive machines is concerned, we are going to train up the biological neurons with some sort of mechanisms so that it has its own cognition. That means it is going to act on its environment. Based on the environment, it is going to act and it is going to make the use of the environment. So these two are the major things that is possessed by the machine cognition. So whatever might be the cognition that human possess, that cognition should be given to the machine. So this is the ultimate goal of any sort of neural networks. Whatever the neuron that we build, we need to make the neuron process in such a way that it is going to act on its own by the cognition that is present by the human being. So this is the major element that lies as far as cognition is concerned. So now we all have some sort of biological neurons and some sort of biological nervous system that is going to act with the help of the instructions by the human brain. So now our brain is going to give some sort of instructions. Based on the instructions, we are going to act towards an external environment by hearing it or seeing it or touching it or tasting it. So these are the major things that we possess as human beings. So now when we go ahead with the cognitive mission, we need to possess all the attributes and we need to collect a proper reason. That means whatever the things that we are going to act, it should have a particular reason. So no one will go on the road for an accident. So accident is nothing but one sort of reason. So for that particular reasonless reason, we are not able to go and make a move as far as the trafficking is concerned. So we are not supposed to go with regard to the speed and other aspects. The speed and other things that we are going to maintain by ourselves. The thing that we are going to do is that we are going to train the machine so that it acts on its own and maintain the performance on its own. These two are the major things that a machine is going to possess. So we are supposed to make the intelligence machine to make the use of the intelligence like a human being with the help of the cognition that present in the human being. This is the ultimate goal of any sort of neural networks. So now coming to the basic things, that means we need to go ahead from the perceptron. We are going to percept all the things, see all the things and make use of all the things, feel all the things that we possess. So from that, we need to take over it to the neural network that going to act accordingly. So these two are the two important things. So one is what we are going to possess. Based on the possession, we need to train the neuron in such a way that it is going to act on its own. So in 1959, so Bernard window and Meren handoff. So these two have developed a small model regarding the basic neurological studies of the elements. And based on it, they have developed some sort of models. And those models have been used in our daily life. From there, we have got the concept of perceptron and the neural network. So we have different sort of neural networks. All the neural networks are important. And in this neural network, we have a rule called as, this is the most important rule, that is the back propagation rule. So neuron, it is going to process at some time, and it is going to see that the things are well versed and utilized in that particular neural network. So if there are any sort of issues, they need to go forward, go backward and correct it. So that is the back propagation. Along with that, we have one more thing, that is feed forward, going forward towards the activation functions and activating them, and moving forward towards the learning aspects. So this is the feed forward neural network and back propagation. These two are the two important networks that come across. So I'm not going in detail regarding all the historical perspective of neural network. The basic thing that human brain is that we have some couple of neurons, some bundle of neurons or nerve forms that are going to act as our system is developed. So based on this particular system, we are going to act based on some sort of activation functions. As I said, when you are going on the road, when you see any sort of red signal or danger signal ahead, you are supposed to stop at that particular point. So this is the neural instruction that comes from the brain, and you are going to act according to the instruction that travels from the brain. So this is the most important thing that takes place in the neural network journey. So we have some sort of synthetic gaps, some sort of gaps that might occur between the neurons. And we have a cell body, we have an axiom, so we have nucleus and we have dendrites. So these are the various cells that are present in the biological neuron. So when we get some sort of instructions from the nucleus and dendrites, the action is going to get activated accordingly, according to that particular synergy. So this is the thing that happens in the biological neural network structure. And the same thing we are going to do in the artificial neural network structure. So ANN, these are built based on the, as I said, we are supposed to make the system to work like a human brain. All the instructions of the brain that are traversed should get activated, and they are to be managed in that particular neural network structure, so that it is going to act on its own and perform on its own. So ANN is not related only to that particular robotic based system. It can relate to any sort of system that is going to work on its own based on the environment and its behavior. Like if you take the example of ChatGPT, if you give an instruction like it is going to act like a teacher, it is going to act like a teacher. That means there is some sort of inbuilt neural networking structure that is available in ChatGPT. That means with the help of use of LLMs, we are going to generate all the sort of transactions that takes place in the human brain with the help of the instructions that take place. So the same instructions can be transmitted to the machines as well. So what the things that we have in the neural network structure, we have some sort of inputs, we have some sort of weights. Along with that, we have some sort of activation functions which are going to make the neural network structure active according to the time bounds. As I said, it is going to act like a human and think like a human. These two are the major things that we need to make the behavior of the machine. So it is going to act like a human and think like a human. These two are the major things that we are supposed to give to the machine so that it is going to act on its own. The performance can be improvised based on the action of the machine. So if there are any sort of issues that occur during the transmission of the weights and some sort of impulses that going across in the activation function, that can be overcome with the help of algorithms like back propagation. So it is one of the most important algorithm that we deal in the neural networking structure. So we are going to give the inputs. We have some weights. Based on the weights, the neural network from complete functionality is going to depend. And we are going to make use of a transfer function to transfer all the information to the machine. And the machine is going to get activated based on the activation function. So the biological neuron that the human being possesses, the same neuron can be regenerated and reinitiated to the machine so that it is going to act on its own based on the instructions given by the humans. So we have various sort of inputs and we have various sort of weights. So based on the transmission of the weights, we need to change the inputs and we need to change the weights according to the time periods. So based on that, the machine is going to act on its own with the help of the transmission functions. So we are going to have some sort of inputs, such as like a biological neural network that we have, and we are going to make the artificial neural network to work on its own based on the things that we have. As I said, a biological neuron either fires or don't fire. It is going to use some sort of instructions and without some sort of instructions based on some threshold values. Like that, we are going to give some sort of signals. Based on the signals, the inputs, we are going to act accordingly. So these inputs we are going to give with some sort of weighted functions, which are called as coefficients. With the coefficients, we are going to determine the complete networking structure and the abilities of transmission of the rates according to that instruction set that we are going to possess. So this is the weighted inputs that we have in the total transmission of the function. So we are going to give the inputs with the different sort of weights so that the weights are going to process. Suppose you need to give the weight of the cognition, like if you want to see the red signal, you need to stop ahead. So rover need to identify all the signals, all the three signals. That will be given as a weighted function as inputs, and the weighted function is the signal that it need to stop according to that particular situation is concerned. That is given as the multiplication value of the inputs. And we are going to get some sort of activation values or the activation functions that process so that neurons will get activated. So when this cognition is going to give to that particular machine, it is going to act on its own and it is going to perform its own simulations accordingly. So activation functions, these are going to make the use of back propagation and some sort of gradients that are supplied. So based on the activation functions, we are going to develop all the sort of models, all the neural networking models. These are based on the activation function. We have binary step function, we have linear functions. Whatever might be the functionalities that we come across in the generalized studies, these are all taking place. We have one more important function, that is a sigmoid function that going to transmit all the information for the transmission that we use. These are all the few functions that take place in the neural network. And we have feed-forward neural networking structure, and we have perceptrons. Based on the perceptrons, we have back propagation algorithms and other descendant algorithms that we come across. I think I have done with most of the aspects as far as the theoretical part is concerned. You can just go through the concepts, and still if you have any sort of doubts or questions, we can